The Last Trade, a documentary script on the Barings Bank collapse. In 1995, one 28-year-old trader lost $1.4 billion and destroyed Britain's oldest bank in just 3 days. This is how he did it. It's a crisp February morning in Singapore, 1995. The trading floor of Barings Futures hums with activity. Phones ring incessantly. Traders shout orders across the room. Among them sits a 28-year-old derivatives trader, hunched over his screens, watching numbers flash in red. His colleagues admire him. Management trusts him. He's made millions for the bank. But beneath the surface, a catastrophic secret is about to unravel. This is the story of how one man brought down Britain's oldest merchant bank. This is the story of Nick Leeson and Barings Bank. The institution, London, England. The year is 1762. Francis Baring establishes a merchant bank that would serve kings and queens. Barings Bank finances the Louisiana Purchase, supports the British government through the Napoleonic Wars, and becomes a pillar of the global financial system. For 233 years, it has survived wars, recessions, and market crashes. The bank is so prestigious that the French dubbed it the sixth great power of Europe, alongside Britain, France, Russia, Austria, and Prussia. By 1995, Barings Bank managed billions in assets and employed over 4,000 people worldwide. Its client list reads like a who's who of European royalty and elite institutions. The Queen of England herself banks with Barings. It seems invincible. It seems eternal. But empires can fall in a single day. The Golden Boy. Nicholas William Leeson. Born in Watford, 1967. The son of a plasterer, Nick doesn't come from money or privilege. He leaves school at 18 and takes a job as a clerk at Coutts Bank. He's ambitious, hungry, and driven. In 1989, he joined Barings Bank in the settlements department. He's a back-office employee, the type who processes paperwork, not the type who makes million-dollar trades. But Nick sees an opportunity. Barings is expanding into the Asian markets, particularly Singapore and Japan. They need people who understand both trading and settlements. Nick volunteers. In 1992, at just 25 years old, he's sent to Singapore to set up and manage a new operation trading futures contracts on the Singapore International Monetary Exchange, known as SIMEX. Almost immediately, he begins to succeed, or so it seems. His trading account generates massive profits, 10 million in 1993, then 20 million in 1994. Management back in London is thrilled. They give him more capital, more freedom, more trust. Nick Leeson becomes Barings' star trader in Asia. He's given bonuses, promotions, and autonomy that would be unthinkable for someone his age. He's the golden boy. But there's something London doesn't know. There's an account number 8888, an error account created to hide trading mistakes, and Nick Leeson has been using it to conceal losses, catastrophic losses. The deception. Every trading operation makes mistakes. A clerk enters the wrong number, and a junior trader places an incorrect order. These errors are supposed to be reported, corrected, and absorbed by the bank. But at Barings Singapore, Nick Leeson controls both the trading desk and the back-office settlements. He's both a player and a referee. It's a fundamental violation of financial controls, but somehow no one in London notices. When errors occur, instead of reporting them, Nick hides them in account 888. At first, it's small amounts, a few $1,000s here and there. But as the losses mount, he makes a fateful decision. He'll trade his way out. He begins making increasingly risky bets on the Japanese Nikkei stock index, hoping to recover the losses before anyone discovers them. The strategy is simple, but incredibly dangerous. He uses a technique called short straddles, betting that the Nikkei will remain stable. When it does, he collects premiums. He uses these profits to show impressive returns for Barings, while secretly funneling money into account 888 to cover the mounting losses. By December 1994, account 8 holds losses of $208 million, already more than the entire capital of Barings Bank. But Nick Leeson doesn't stop. He can't stop. He's trapped in a spiral of deception, each day requiring bigger bets to cover the previous day's losses. The earthquake, January 17th, 1995, 5:46 a.m. local time, Kobe, Japan. A massive earthquake strikes, measuring 7.3 on the Richter scale. Over 6,000 people are killed. The city is devastated, and on Monday morning, when markets reopen, the Nikkei index plunges. Nick Leeson watches in horror as his positions collapse. Everything he bet on stability. The earthquake has created volatility. His short straddles, which profit from a stable market, are now bleeding money at an astronomical rate. In a desperate attempt to stabilize the market and save his positions, he begins buying Nikkei futures contracts in enormous quantities, trying single-handedly to prop up the entire Japanese stock market. It doesn't work. The Nikkei continues to fall. The losses in account 888 accelerate. $50 million becomes $100 million. $100 million becomes $300 million. By mid-February, the hidden losses exceed $800 million, nearly twice the bank's available capital. On February 23, 1995, Nick Leeson's wife, Lisa, received a note slipped under their apartment door. It's from Nick. 3 words: "I'm sorry." That morning, Nick Leeson boards a flight and disappears. The discovery: when Nick fails to show up for work, his colleagues are confused, then concerned, then panicked. They search his desk and find a key to a drawer. Inside is a cache of documents detailing account 8888. The truth begins to emerge. As auditors dig deeper, the scale of the disaster becomes clear. The losses total $827 million, $1.4 billion. It's more than Barings Bank has in capital, more than it can possibly survive. On February 26, 1995, just 3 days after Nick Leeson's disappearance, Barings Bank collapses. The oldest merchant bank in Britain is bankrupt, 233 years of history, erased in weeks. The Bank of England attempts to organize a bailout, but the losses are too severe. Dutch banking giant ING purchases Barings Bank for the symbolic price of $1. £1 British pound for an institution that once financed empires. The Queen's Bank is gone. 4,000 employees lose their jobs. Clients lose fortunes. The reckoning. Nick Leeson flees Singapore, traveling through Brunei and Malaysia with his wife Lisa, hoping to reach England, where extradition laws might protect him. They make it as far as Frankfurt, Germany, before being arrested at the airport. After months of legal battles, he's extradited to Singapore. On December 2, 1995, Nick Leeson pleads guilty to fraud and is sentenced to 6.5 years in Singapore's Changi prison. His wife divorces him while he's incarcerated. He serves 4 years before being released early due to colon cancer, which he battles successfully. The collapse of Barings exposes catastrophic failures in banking oversight and risk management. How could one trader in Singapore lose more money than the entire bank's capital without anyone noticing? The answer is disturbing. Inadequate supervision, lack of internal controls, and a culture that prioritized profits over prudence. Investigations reveal that warning signs were everywhere. An internal audit in 1994 had questioned why one person controlled both trading and settlements. Margin calls from Cymex had grown suspiciously large. But Barings management, blinded by the apparent profits, ignored every red flag. The legacy. Today, Nick Leeson is a free man. He's remarried, had children, and rebuilt his life. He's become a speaker on risk management and corporate ethics, ironically advising banks on the very failures that destroyed Barings. He's written books, appeared in documentaries, and even had a movie made about his story, Rogue Trader, starring Ewan McGregor. But the lessons of Barings Bank remain urgent. In 2008, just 13 years later, rogue trader Jérôme Kerviel would lose $4.9 billion, $6.7 billion for French bank Société Générale, using similar tactics. In 2011, Kweku Adoboli lost $2.3 billion for UBS. The patterns repeat: excessive risk, inadequate oversight, and catastrophic loss. The collapse of Barings Bank shattered the illusion that any institution is too big or too established to fail. It revealed how vulnerable the global financial system is to individual recklessness when combined with systemic failures of supervision. It showed that centuries of reputation can be destroyed in weeks by a single person with access and desperation. Account 888888 still serves as a warning in financial circles, a reminder that hidden accounts, unchecked traders, and the failure to separate duties can bring down empires. The number 888888 has become shorthand for catastrophic risk management failure. Singapore, present day. The skyline has changed dramatically since 1995. Glass towers reach toward the sky. The financial district pulses with activity. Traders still shout orders. Screens still flash with numbers. But in compliance departments across the world, there are new rules, new checks, new systems, all designed to prevent another Nick Leeson, another account 888888, another Barings Bank. The Cymex trading floor where Nick Leeson made his final desperate trades no longer exists. It merged with other exchanges and moved to electronic trading. But the lessons remain. In finance, reputation takes generations to build and moments to destroy. Trust is earned in years and lost in days. And sometimes the most dangerous person in the building is the one everyone trusts the most. This was the story of the last trade. The day the oldest bank in Britain made its final transaction. The day 233 years of history ended with a bankruptcy filing. The day account 888888 was finally opened. End credits, in memory of the 4,000 Barings Bank employees who lost their jobs, and as a reminder that in finance, the past is never truly past.